Welcome to my first series on bankruptcy and how to get it deleted off of your credit report. So Capital One has a pretty decent card called the Platinum Account. So I like to give them away. Here's another way to get them off your credit report. Did you know that most collection agencies install letters or stalling emails? The first bit of advice that I want to give on disputing bankruptcy is this. When you're disputing your bankruptcy, never start off disputing it by saying that it's not yours. That is the worst way to dispute anything on your credit report unless it is absolutely true that it's not yours. With the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, we know that stays on your credit report for 10 years. And we know that Chapter 13, which is more commonly filed, stays on your credit report for 7 years. So, that's not 7 years from the date discharged. That's 7 years from the date that it was filed. So let me get that clear. You can make a comeback from a bankruptcy while you're still in file status, even before it discharges. So even if you filed bankruptcy and they started closing down like your credit cards and things of that nature, like almost immediately after you file, most credit card companies will start shutting you down. If that happens to you, do not let that stop you from rebuilding your credit, even if you have to do it piece by piece. Even if you have to start rebuilding with a secured line of credit or a secured credit card from your bank. That's a start, because one thing about time is that it keeps moving and it never stops for anyone, okay? So before you know it, a year will have gone by, 2 years will have gone by, and you have that distance between you and actually filing that bankruptcy, where companies will begin to trust you again to extend you lines of credit or credit cards. So don't let that stop you from rebuilding. I have clients now who have credit scores that are well over 700s and they have a bankruptcy sitting on their credit report. So bankruptcies do not stop the show. You know, the only time I've seen bankruptcy just kind of just stop everything is when we're dealing with business credit. Okay, that's another giant, and we'll tackle that at a later date. A series is going to come out on that. So in this 4-part series, I will be telling you one of my main strategies that I use probably 85% of the time in getting bankruptcy deleted. Now, while here's my disclaimer, it does not 100% work with every single client or every single person across the board. And what I mean by 100% work is that the 4 major credit bureaus, Innovis, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, they may all have your bankruptcy sitting on the report on you, right? You can use this strategy to dispute with all 4 of these bureaus, and it may only work with 3. It may only get you 3 deletions. And let's say, for instance, Equifax may not delete, or it may get you deletions with 2 of the bureaus, or it may get you deletions with all 4. You just never know until you get out there and you start swinging. So I'm here just to share with you for free a strategy that I use with my clients that works for us, So that's purely what this video is about, just sharing free information, free strategies, and different tricks and tips of what I use that could help you out. So it's not me claiming to know everything. I'm no credit guru. I'm none of that. I've been in this business for a long time, but I don't claim to know everything, because when you claim to know everything, you kind of stop learning, and I'm forever learning. So, yeah. So you filed bankruptcy. Question that I get all the time is, the bankruptcy is still in filed status. I'm still paying on it. Do I wait until it gets discharged before I start disputing? And my answer always is yes, you start disputing right away. Anything shows up negative on your credit report, you start disputing immediately. The sooner the better, always. That's my motto. The 4 major consumer reporting agencies that I first want to go after to get them to delete the bankruptcy is going to be Factor Trust, Clarity Services, Advanced Resolutions, and of course, LexisNexis. So let's get started. I'll show you some dispute letters. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one of the 4 dispute letters that we're starting with here. And that's just simply because they all have the same verbiage in them, just different addressees. So here's the LexisNexis letter. I'll read a little bit of the verbiage to you. It says, to whom it may concern, I am formally contesting any inaccurate and undocumented information in my credit report, including unverified claims under the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the accepted standard of Metro 2 data field reporting. I challenge the reporting of these unsubstantiated allegations. Federal and state laws require accurate reporting, and it is inappropriate to report unlawful claims. Please ensure the accuracy and correctness of all claims supported by verifiable evidence. I kindly request you to provide evidence of the existence of the account and its permissible uses. If such evidence is lacking, I expect removal of the account from the report. Please send me physical documentation of your actions and updated credit report. So it's very simple and to the point. So here is the actual bankruptcy. Here is that bankruptcy reference number. You see everything here. What I've done here is just simply made a grid like I always do. Put it here in the middle of the letter where it kind of gives me a way to express myself in the dispute letter as far as dispute reasons go. So you see here where it says filed, reported, like that's the filing date. So I'm going to say error or misreporting there. Releasing or closing date, I'm going to say error or misreporting there as well. Where it says reference number, I'm literally almost always going to say error, inaccurate, fraudulent reference number, because they're challenging them to verify the validity of that account number. They're like one of the main things that we find discrepancies on. So that's why that's there. And here where it says court, it says U.S. bankruptcy courts. Well, we know the U.S. bankruptcy courts did not send that information over to LexisNexis. LexisNexis got the information because it's free public information, but it wasn't given to them, it wasn't furnished to them by the U.S. bankruptcy court. So I don't know why they still even keep putting it there, because we always call them on that. So it says falsified remarks by data furnisher. So those are some dispute reasons there. So with doing it this way, I'm able to give 4 dispute reasons on one dispute letter instead of just going after things one dispute reason at a time. This is the kind of way to get them looking at everything. And so this works for us really good. So we kind of like to stick with what's working in case we, or unless we need to. So we kind of like to stick with what's working, and that works really good for us. And that's the reason why I always give so many dispute reasons, and they're always highlighted and colorful, because I want you to see my reasons, read my reasons. And I'm not going to read the rest of the bankruptcy letter, but I mean, you can always like freeze this and take screenshots if you're creating your own letter and you just need some verbiage. This is pretty good verbiage. So anytime I'm sending letters to the consumer reporting agencies, especially, I like to keep it short and sweet. It's no need for a long drawn out 100-page letter. It doesn't make your stuff get seen any quicker, or it doesn't make your letter any more important or better. So let's backtrack a little bit. We have our list of the consumer reporting agencies whom we're going to send our dispute letters to, and we have our dispute letter now with our dispute reasons already input in play. So the next thing that we're going to do is, of course, make 3 copies of our ID, and we're going to send these letters off to these 4 consumer reporting agencies. Usually with these consumer agencies, it's not going to be like 30 days before you hear back from them. Usually it's going to be around the end of the 2-week mark when you can start looking for them to reach back out to you via mail with dispute results. So do not send anything to Innovis, TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian until we reach our required goal from the 4 consumer reporting agencies, which is a letter stating that they have deleted the public record with their letterhead on it. So there you have it. There's step number 1 of this strategy. So go ahead, create your dispute letters. Go ahead and send them out to those 4 consumer reporting agencies. Next Monday at 10 a.m. is when we will drop the second series, which it will be the second step of what we're going to be doing here to get this bankruptcy removed off of the credit report.